This old car's been sitting right here in this spot for about 35 years. What do y'all think about seeing if we can get it running? Oh yeah, well, let us get busy. It's a 1978 Ford Fairmont station wagon. Some of y'all have seen it before, if you recall, a couple of years ago. I come through the woods here, robbing parts on this vehicle and that vehicle. Well, we stole the rack and pinion out of this one. Well, last week, the old 52 Chevrolet was sitting right up yonder. I kept looking at this one, and well, it looked like it was going to be lonely once we took that 52 out. So I thought, well, I'll tell you what, let's drag the thing out. Well, then I got to thinking, let's just see if we can get it running. It's, you know, in a pretty good spot, pretty good terrain. I won't be tripping over everything. So here we are. I will give you the backstory on it. This was Mama's car when I was a kid. Well, I'm pretty sure that I took my driving test in this thing back when I was 16 years old. And not too long after that, it was drove. I'm pretty sure drove right here, parked. That's where it's sat ever since. It's in pretty rough shape, but I have dealt with rougher. Oh yeah, the door skin, you can see it's popped out because it's rusted. Got lots of rust back in here. I'm pretty sure the floorboard is rusted out. Let's look on the other side, see what it looks like. Well, we got us a little dent here, and yep, that door down yonder, pretty rusted. The back end, I remember Mama got hit in the back end. It knocked out both the tail lights. Well, Daddy just took these old, I don't know what you call them, drill a hole in the bumper, wired them up, and that was her tail lights while she drove the thing. Yep, sure enough. Wait a minute, what does this say right here? Bradley Ford, Ashland City, Tennessee. So it's a local car for sure. It is, like I said, a 1978. I did a little research on it. 78 is the first year they made these. It is made off of the Fox body platform. That's about all I can tell you. I'm pretty sure it's got the straight six. It'll be a 200 cubic inch motor. I don't know the torque and horsepower rate. We might look that up later. It is automatic, so it could be a C3, C4, C5. We'll have to see. But yeah, she's pretty doggone rough. As you can see, half the windows are smashed from them little heathenous idiots that come through here many years ago, busting all the windows out. If I could get my hands on them, well, I'd probably beat the devil out of him again. Anyway, let's look inside real quick and see what kind of mileage we got on it. Well, I got to get the glass out of the way, and it don't want to move. Let me do that real quick, and then we'll see what the mileage is. Well, I managed to get the windshield out without cutting myself, so that's awesome. Mileage. What kind of mileage we got on this thing? Let me get in here where you can see it. Well, it's 27,291. I would dare say that's probably 227,000, but I don't know for sure. Do we have all the hubcaps? There was one. Oh crap, there's a wasp. I gotta run. Yeah. We probably done stirred up a nest somewhere. Fool on them things. What I was gonna say before we were rudely interrupted is, do we have all the hubcaps? Two over there, one over here, one in the floorboard. So that is awesome. We're missing that wheel, but there's one in the back. So we'll put that on. That's if the thing will run. Let me get the hood up. If I recall correctly, the hood stuff is messed up. It took me a while to get it open last time. Let's get it open and see what we're working with. All right, let me see what it's going to take to get this to open. Well, I don't know. I'll be back in a minute. There's two bolts right here that hold the hood latch on. So we're just going to take the whole assembly off. Now will it open? Oh, yeah, look here. Ta-da! Looking for waspers. I don't see none at the moment. Where's the prop rod? Somebody has stole it. Oh, here it is. We'll have to do something a little better here. Yeah. The hinge over there just rusted off of the hood. What in the world? Let me find a better prop rod. Jack handle. That works pretty good. Alright. Let me clear some of this out of the way. I don't know why headlight's under here. There's headlight trim. There's the air cleaner. Carb is gone. So that's not good. All the plug wires are gone. Other than that though, I think it's pretty much all here. Let me get in here and just show you. There ain't a whole lot to look at though. Well, Artez, it is a straight six, so it'll be a 200 cubic incher. Like I said, the carb is gone. All the plug wires are gone. What about plugs? They're still in it, so that's good. If you recall, I told y'all I stole the rack and pinion. Well, I cut the steering shaft and I cut both tie rod ends. So if by some miracle this runs and I want to drive it out of here, well, we got to have that anyway to get it out of here, because I got to be able to steer it. We'll have to fix that stuff back up. Oh, it's an AC car too. I don't really remember that. Anyways, I want to see if I can grab a hold of the fan or something. See if it'll turn over. I'd like to get a socket on the crank if possible. I don't know if I can. But anyway, let's just see if it'll turn over. All right, let us see if by some miracle this will turn over. No, sir. I'm just spinning the fan. Tell you what. Let me get the shroud out of the way so I can get down there to the crankshaft. I brought very minimal tools. That didn't really help me out much. No, sir. What would it take to get the radiator out of the way? 2 bolts. Let's do that. Alright, gotta get the radiator hoses loose. Does it have any antifreeze in it? Let's see. No, sir, I don't see nothing. There's one. I can't get that bottom hose off. Come on, man. Oh, my finger. There we go. It had a little bit of antifreeze in it. Now I got 2 transmission cooler lines. Mr. Tree, you get on my nerves right now. So are you, whoever's behind me. Get on. All right, let's see what'll come out. Ta-da! Look how thin that radiator is. A single row. Man, that thing's little. Now, will the shroud come out? Oh yeah. Now we can get us a socket on that crank bolt. All right, let's see what happens. No, sir. No. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, look at here. Look at here. She just moved, fellers. Come on now. Look here. Oh, yeah. It moved a little bit and then quit on me. Let me go back the other way. Oh, yeah. Let me rock her back and forth a little bit. Maybe that'll help us out. That's as far as it's going to do. It could be a valve stuck down or just really rusty cylinders. It's going back the other way, so it very well could be valve hanging down. Let's keep on turning. Let me turn it over a few revolutions, hopefully. And if it will, then that means we ain't got no valve stuck, and this whole thing just might start. Yeah, it's done freed up quite a bit now. Tell you what, let's pull the plugs. I got a little bit of acetone and transmission fluids. We'll put it down in there maybe to lube stuff up. And then I got to do some research and see what kind of carb I got to get, because I ain't got a clue what goes on it. I brought my little saw to cut down any trees that might be in the way. Well, I got 2 or 3 right here. But I forgot to bring my battery, so that ain't doing me no good. Anyway, let's get these plugs out of here. I don't know what size socket I need. I wish I had a little longer extension. Ooh, these are really, really tight. I'm sure they're rusted. Ooh. Woo. I didn't bring any kind of Croil of oil or nothing to spray these with. Let me go get some different tools, because that's going to take a minute. I got me some P&B blaster. I don't know if it's help or not. We're going to give it the old try. And then I got a 1/2 to 3/8 adapter so I can use this impact. Well, I'm telling you, them fellers are in there. Well, it failed. I wanted to look at it. Let's see if I can get it. Well, they don't look bad. They're not. It's not burning rich on that cylinder anyway. Not really rusty. Let's get the rest of them out. Pretty bad when you got to remove spark plugs with an impact. And they're about the same. A little rusty, not bad. Same thing. All right, let me get the rest of them out. Last one. They're all about the same. It was not running rich. So that's cool. Now that I've got the plugs out, I was going to use acetone and transmission fluid because I got some mixed up already. Well, let's just use the P&B blaster. Shoot down in there. And then we might turn it over by hand and see if it'll free up anymore. Alright, let's get back on the crank and see if it'll turn over easier. I think I'm going to pull this fan off because it's right in the way of getting that socket and ratchet on there. Make it a little bit easier. Alright, there's the fan. Now let's see if she'll free up anymore. Oh, I can't turn it with a ratchet, that's for sure. Oh yeah! Ooh, it ain't freed up enough to use a ratchet. Absolutely not. Yeah, she's still pretty doggone tight. Well, she just quit right there. Yep. That could be a valve. It rotates the other way. Yeah, that's a hard stop. So, let's pull the valve cover, see what we see. If you're wondering why I'm using this giant impact on everything, well, I brought minimal tools because I really wasn't expecting to be doing this today. I thought it was going to be stuck and I'd have to fill it with acetone transmission fluid and wait a day or two. And no, sir, she come unstuck pretty quick. And I can't get this impact on the bolts. So I may have to go back to the house and get a different socket. I don't know. My big old socket won't fit on these two here, so I got to get them with a wrench. It took about 6 years, but I finally got that bolt out. So now let's pull the valve cover off and see what we got. All right, let's pick on these with a hammer. See if we can find the one that's stuck. Not that one, not that one. Well, ain't none of them stuck down. Sure ain't. So I don't know what's going on, unless it's just a really bad rust spot. Well, let me keep fooling with it, turning it back and forth. Maybe we can break through it. Y'all look at here. Ooh, I'm able to turn it all the way around with the ratchet now. It's still got a hard spot. It'll actually squeak a little bit right there. But it is getting better. I sprayed it with some more PMB Blaster. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So I don't think the starter will turn it right now, but I may go get a battery anyway and just try it. But before we go, let's see if any of these tires will air up. That way I'll know what I got to do about that situation too. Well, I finally broke down and bought me one of these here little Milwaukee air compressors. It uses that little battery for the little ratchets. They got one that uses the M18 battery, but they're a little less expensive right now. So this in here I have to do. Let's see if it'll pump it up to 20. Oh, look at there. I believe she's gonna take air. Oh, yeah. Y'all look at there. She's holding, well, it's showing 22. It's supposed to cut off at 20. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm happy that that one's holding an air. Let me check the other two, and then I gotta get that out of the back and see about it too. Well, the two back ones held 20 pounds. It looks like the front one is too. It might be missing a wee bit of tread. Here's the one I got out of the back. It might be bent a little bit. I'm gonna whoop on it with a big hammer, see if I can't straighten that back out. Maybe it'll hold air. If not, well, we'll have to find us another wheel. Looks like a brand new one. Let me look at the other side. It's been a little bit too. Alright, let's see if it'll hold air. Well, I just saw a hole right here where it was bent. So that makes sense. Pretty sure it ain't gonna hold air, but let's give her the old try, see what it does. Yeah, I feel air coming out of it, so that ain't gonna work. I hear it too. There is another tire back here in the spare tire well. Let me grab it and we'll try to put it on that wheel. All right, let's change this tire real quick, like. That tire's been on there a while. Come on, man. Oh, yeah. You don't want to take that off either. I think I bought a piece of junk tire changer. Yes, sir, I do believe I did. Well, I finally got the tire on. As you can see, it won't air up. No, sir. I guess I've lost my touch because I used to be able to get anything to air up, but this one right here will not. That did tear the bead up in a couple spots. This machine does not like these old rusty wheels. It don't like these old tires. They're kind of stiff. Yep, it don't like them tall. Feel on this wheel. I remember when we pulled that 52 out of the woods last week or week before, whenever it was. There was another 4-lug wheel right there around it, so it might be the one that belongs on that car. I don't know. We'll go over and see if it fits and airs up. Well, that's great. If not, then, well, I'll have to get a tire. Right now, I'm going to get a battery from somewhere, and let's go over and see if the starter we'll crank that thing over, and then I'm probably going to be done for today because this right here has really aggravated me. There's where the 52 was sitting. There's that wheel I was talking about. I think that's 13 inch. I don't think it's going to work. No, sir. So I'll have to find me a wheel and a tire somewhere. Let's get this battery hooked up, see if it'll crank this thing over. Well, here's the deal. Somebody cut the battery cable right down there at the starter. Well, I was putting a new cable on there, tightening the nut up on the stud, and about halfway down, well, it just, the stud just stripped out. Yep, nut won't go in any further. So we're done. Yep, sun's setting. I'm aggravated. I got to pull the starter off and I guess get another starter if we want to hear this thing at least turn over. It ain't happening today. No, sir, it ain't happening tomorrow because tomorrow's Sunday. Sunday's a day of rest. That's what I plan on doing. Hope you do the same. We'll see y'all Monday. We'll continue on with this thing. Tis the next day, and here's the deal. We ain't pulling that starter out. Not yet anyways. What we're going to do, take these little vice grips. We're going to clamp this battery cable to that post that stripped out. We're going to get the battery in here. We're going to see if the thing will turn over with a battery. If it does, and we'll proceed to continue. See if we got spark and all that, and then maybe we can get it fired up. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. All right. Let's get her on down in here. See what we can get done. Hopefully we don't short it out no kind of way and set the woods on fire. That would be terrible. All right, that is clamped. Let's get a battery. I got to rig up my ground cable. I had it here the other day, but, well, I don't know where it is now. I'll find something. I already got it rigged up. I got my cable clamped to the starter. The starter solenoid goes right here and it's missing. So we're just running straight to the battery, to the starter, hit a ground with this. Y'all watch this. Oh, yeah. She turns over pretty good. I'll tell you what, let me get over here and let's just see if we got any kind of compressions at all. No, sir. We have no compression at all. So that's not good. Let me pull this off and make sure all the valves are still moving and whatnot. Yes, sir. All the valves are moving, so we just plain old don't have no compression. So this is going to be a real pain to get started. But we are going to give her the old try. I'm going to spray some more stuff down in the cylinders. Let that soak. While it soaks, I've got to figure out how to hot wire a DuraSpark because I don't have a key. Let me figure some of that out, and we'll at least see if we're getting spark. All right, I did a little bit of reading on DuraSparks, and pretty simple. I think you got to run a hot from the battery over to the red wire going into the DuraSpark, which is this one right here. So let me grab my cutters out of my tool pouch here. We'll head down here somewhere, maybe the old 69 Impala right there, or old red, that old junky square body. We'll grab us a piece of wire and we'll see if we get spark. Well, the old 69 Impala has supplied us with some wire, so the whole thing is still being useful. That's awesome. Let's get up there and see if we can make some spark. Well, I ain't never been accused of being a real smart man. There's something I'm trying to figure out right here on this DuraSpark. Here's the one of the plugs that goes to it. We got a red wire coming in, and the other side of the plug goes to a white wire. Well, up here you got a white wire that goes to a red wire. Why would you want to swap colors like that? I don't know. I don't understand stuff like that. No, sir. Let me get that wire stripped back and hook a wire to it. Let's see if we get a spark. Well, I did a little further research. I found a wiring diagram is what I found. And in addition to having a hot wire going to the red on the DuraSpark, you got to have hot going to the positive side of the coil. Well, I've got all that, and I'm not getting any spark when I'm turning it over, but I can manually get spark if I take the wire that's going to the coil and do that right there. I don't know if the video will pick it up, but getting far. I don't know if maybe the pickup down in here, the distributor, is messed up or what's going on. I got another dirt spark. Let me change that out. And if that don't fix it, then we probably got us a pickup issue. Well, I changed out the dirt spark. Here's the one that come off the car. As you can see, all the potting material is gone. This should be, filled up with stuff to protect it. That don't mean it's bad. It just ain't being protected. Changed them out anyway. There's the one that come out of the old blue Ford we sent to the crusher the other day. Same result. It won't spark turning the motor over, but it will spark when I do it manually. I don't think there's nothing wrong with the dirt spark. It's what gives this ground. If I don't have power to it, then I can't make it spark manually. So I think the dirt spark's okay. I sort of think it's this pickup that's bad. So let me investigate that, see about getting one or maybe robbing one off of something else if I can find it. I'll let you know in a little while. Today's the next day, and well, here's the deal. I got all the ignition from the Fairmont. Well, the coil cover from at 360 sitting over yonder. The rest of it come off the Fairmont. I wanted to make sure it's getting a good ground from the Duraspark and the distributor and all that. And I am. It's doing the same thing. So I ordered the the little pickup. And should be here today sometime. It may be tonight when we get it. So we're going to have to work on something else. And that will be the steering. Whether I drive the car out or pull it out, I got to have a way to steer it. Well, here's the rack and pinion that goes in it. Like I said, I cut the tie rod ends, I cut the steering shaft. So here's what we're gonna do to make this steer once again. I'm gonna take this piece of pipe, slide it over steering shaft. I'm gonna drill a hole, weld a nut, screw a bolt in there, do the same thing up here for the shaft that's still on the car. That'd be good enough for us to get it home. And then we're gonna take off the other end of the tie rod end, weld them back together. That'll be good enough for that. Of course, we're not going to be, driving down the road with it like that. But it'll be good enough to get it home. I even saved the bolts. What do you think about that right there? That's awesome. So let me get busy doing this here. Then we'll go over in the woods and get those tie rod ends off, bring them back over here and weld them up. There's a lot of Earl, maybe gasolines on my weld table here from that pile of junk chainsaw. So we might see this big old fireball here in a minute when a spark hits it. Probably hold, and I have had a design change. I'm not going to do two of these, just one. Let me show you what we're going to do different. Here's the rack and pinion, here's the steering shaft. I'm just going to slide it on there, weld it to it, because this is junk anyway, so it don't really matter. Of course, this is going to wobble because I ain't even trying to get it straight. All we got to do is get her out of the woods. Alright, that's good enough for that. I reckon now we need to go over the woods and get our tie rod ends off. Well, this was just delivered. It is the pickup for the distributor. So let me get that changed out. And I'll see y'all in the woods. We'll go ahead and try to see if it'll start. Then we'll get back on the steering. Well, I got the pickup coil changed out. There it is right there. Y'all watch the sparking plug right there. I'm spinning it. No sparky spark anywhere at all. Nope. I can still do it and get it manually. Watch this. I don't know if y'all can see that. Oh yeah. Don't know what's going on. I swapped this wire here because this is supposed to be power to the thingamabob here. It don't make no difference. I don't know what's going on. I really don't have a clue. I got it grounded here. You ain't got a clue. But until we get this figured out, well, we're stuck in the mud. So let me do some studying and see if I can figure out what's going on. Well, here's the deal. I ain't got a clue what's going on with the ignition. It's possible that we had a bad pickup coil and a bad Durspark. The one I've been testing with over at the house is the one that came off of here. It could be bad. So I'm gonna take that one right there. That's the one that came off the blue Ford pickup. Take it home and test with it. But before we do that, whilst I'm here, let's go ahead and get the tie rod ends off. Take them back with us. We'll weld them on the rack and pinion, and then hopefully that'll fix the spark. We'll bring everything back over, put it back on, and the old girl just might fire up. Let us get this is chorus. Jack it up as well. My handle just come off on the jack there. Well, that ain't no good. Tell you what, I'm not a fan of this. The jack is up like that. Let's see if we can jack from the side over here. I don't think this here cotter pin's gonna come out. It's in there pretty good. So I think what we'll do, we'll cut her off. Then we'll put the old impact on there and twist her on off. Oh, yeah. Ta-da! Look at there. I brought a pickle fork. Didn't even need it over here. All right, let me go to the other side, get it off, and get that Durspark, and we'll go back to the house. Well, I got the other Durspark hooked up, and guess what? Yep, exact same thing. I can make it spark manually. We will not spark with the distributor, so phooey on this for now. Let's get over here and weld these tie rod ends on this rack and pinion. Let's put us a chamfer on it, and we'll do that to the other end too. That way we can get a little bit better weld on it. Y'all tell me when that gets straight. Good enough. Let me do the other end. Well, I got the rack and pinion all welded up and ready to go. And, y'all look right here. I think I just figured out what the issue is on the spark. See that right there? It's broke wire. Yes, sir. Let me repair that, and I bet you money we'll have spark now. Got the wire repaired. I'm gonna spin the distributor. Y'all watch this. No, sir. No sparky spark at all. Now watch this. I can do it manually. Oh yeah, it's sparking. Where is it at? Right there. Yes, sir. So I don't know what's going on. I ain't got a clue unless there's another wire broke somewhere. So let me look at this harness, see what I can figure out. Well, y'all ain't gonna believe me unless I show you. Watch it right in there. Watch it. Look at that sparky spark. Look at that sparky spark. Oh yeah. Now go ahead and ask me, what did I do to fix it? No, go ahead. Ask me, what did I do to fix it? I ain't got a clue. Sure don't. I sort of think these connectors, they got a lot of what I'm assuming is dielectric grease. See that white stuff? And I'm assuming it was just a bad connection, and plugging it and unplugging it finally made it start working. Well, I'll tell you what I did. The old 360 sitting over in the floor, come out of that blue Ford. I pulled the distributor out of it, put it right here in this vise, hooked it up, it started working. I was like, well, that don't make sense because this should be working too. Well, I plugged this back in the Fairmont distributor, it started working. So I don't know. Anyway, we don't have a whole lot of daylight left, but I think we got enough to go back over in the woods. Let's hook all this up, make sure we're getting spark, and see if the thing will at least attempt to fire. Well, I got all the ignition stuff hooked back up, and I also decided to put the fan on, the shroud, the radiator. I've lost a radiator mount. Supposed to be one over here. I laid them both right there. I ain't got a clue where I've looked everywhere in this area. I reckon there's a squirrel around here that has a Fairmont, and he needed that mount. I don't know. I don't understand how stuff disappears like that. Also, I found me a starter solenoid at the house. Got that mounted. That came from the danged old Dodge, the winch. If y'all might remember, some of you, we had to work on that. That's where that comes from. Got that hooked up. Well, then I remembered, I ain't got no spark plug wires. I ain't gonna fire it up without them. By the time I go home, make them up or find some, come back, well, it's gonna be dark because it's almost dark now. So I reckon first thing tomorrow, we'll make us some wires up, come over and put them on, get the plugs in, throw a battery in it. I don't have a carb, but we can shoot some stuff down in the intake and see if it's going to attempt to fire up. If it does, well, then we'll have to find us a carb, and maybe the thing will fire up. I don't know. We'll see. We are back once again, trying to get this old hunk of junk started. Ain't got a lot of time, though. The hurricane is coming up from the south, and it's supposed to start raining here in the next 2 or 3 hours and rain for the next 3 or 4 days. Yep. So if we even get it started, we'll be lucky. We ain't going to get it removed today. No, sir. Got my battery put in, and the starter solenoid, it ain't acting right. You know, you're supposed to jump hot to one of these posts, either this small one or that one down there, because it's not labeled. Well, it does nothing. So I don't know what's going on with that. We'll just have to use a wrench and arc it out. I'm trying to figure out firing order and which one is number 1 cylinder. Ain't got a clue. Fixing to spin it around and see if I see a mark on the pulley. If I don't, the only thing I know to do is put my finger over number 1 cylinder. When I feel compression stop, then try to rotate it to the top and then see where we're pointed on our distributor. That'll be number 1. So let me see if I can do that, and then maybe we can start cranking on this thing. See if we'll start. I already got the number 1 plug out. Let me hit the starter and put my finger in there. It ain't got a lot of compression, so I may not be able to tell. Well, my battery ain't working now, so what in the devil? All right, let's try this again. That was compression. It's got a little compression on that one now. Right there. That is compression stroke. And let me see. Yeah, we're pretty much at the top. So let me take the cap off and see where we're pointed. That'll be number 1. Number 1 is pointed that way. All right, now that we got that, let me get these plug wires put on. Then we'll see if we got spark. Then we'll see if we'll start. Plug wires are installed. What I used, I didn't make a set. Somebody gave me this set. It's for old school Shimmy distributor. Well, I just got them turned around backwards. You know, the orange plug goes on the spark plug usually. Well, they're on the distributor because, you know, it's got the male type, HEI type. So put that on the distributor. I cramped these down just a little bit so they'll fit tight on the sparking plug. Well, there's my wires. I got the ignition wired up, so let's hit the solenoid over there. Y'all watch my little flasher thing here. Let's see if we got any sparky spark. Whoa! I don't know if it caught on camera, but we got sparky spark. Oh yeah. Let me get me a little bit of carb cleaner. Shoot some down the intake. Let's just see if it at least try to fire. This has been open for years, so there's no telling what the Mises have crammed down in there. Let's just see if it'll suck some of this down in there and try to fire. No, sir. It ain't even trying. There's a little bit of puff back, so we got an intake valve that ain't closing all the way. But I don't even know if I got the timing right, because I had that distributor pulled out. Let's give her a little bit of advance. That distributor turns clockwise like Chevrolet. Remember the mistake I made on Dumas? I ain't making it on this one. Anyway, let me spin this around. Give her a little advance, see what it does. Come on, man. We're probably going to have to go get another battery, because that there, it don't sound real good. But let me give it a little more timing. See what it does. That's a little too much. Try it right there. Still a little too much. Let me hold my hand over this intake and just see what happens. Well, the battery don't sound all that great, so I reckon let's go to the house. I might steal the one out of the Forte and see if it's any better, but it's got to turn a whole lot faster than what it is, or it won't never ever start. Well, I got me a fresh battery that came off the old Forte. I also got my little jump pack here. I think I'll go ahead and hook it up. I got me a piece of cardboard over the intake hole. You know, this thing ain't got no compression, so you want to limit the amount of air it's taking in, because if you got it wide open, it's going to make it hard to start. It'd be a lean mixture, basically. So let's see what that does. I got a bucket of carbs I brought with me right there. I got to look through them, but I think there's supposed to be like a spacer adapter that goes there. Anyways, let's see if this battery is going to turn it over any faster. Maybe it'll try to start at least. All right, let's give her the old try and see what it does. It ain't even attempting to fire at all. This is not good. You know, it's possible that the intake track is stopped up with mouse houses, and I ain't got no way to know that for sure or not. Sure don't. Let's leave the cardboard off. See what it does. Yeah, she ain't even attempting to. Let's pull a plug and just see what we got. I might spray some stuff down in it and see if that helps out any. It ain't wet with some oil on it, but it ain't wet. Let me shoot some carb cleaner down in it. Oh crap, there's a stump there. Put that back in. I might take another one or two out to do that same thing. Let's just see what it does. All right, we'll pull, what is this, number 4? Sure, why not? It looks like number 1. A lot of garbage on it. All right, let's give her one more try. See what it does. Fire in the hole. No, sir. Still ain't trying. Let's move the timing around a little more. See what it does. Well, I turned the distributor a bunch. It is trying. You can hear it, but it's a very, very feeble try. Sure is. Listen. I believe that's coming out of the intake at pop you hear. Well, the rain is coming in, so I have closed up shop. I think what I'm gonna do is take that battery home and we'll charge it up, and the other one and if the rain holds off, we'll come back later, and we might hook them both up 24-volt style, really get it to spinning. Hopefully we don't burn the starter up. But this thing is dragging the battery down real quick. I've never had one do that. Also, I looked through my bucket of carbs. None of those are going to fit, so I ain't sure what I'm going to do there either. Plus, I need to set the timing because it may be, you know, a mile off. So I'm going to do some research on that whilst we wait on the rain to go away. If we don't come back today, we'll come back tomorrow. Well, maybe not, because it's that hurricane coming. It's supposed to rain next 3-4 days, so it may be a few days before we get back. But we will get back and see if we can get the old Fairmont started. Well, since we're waiting on batteries to charge up, I figured we'd fool with this confounded tire machine. Remember the other day I couldn't get this tire to blow up. This is one of the wheels I'm trying to use on the old Fairmont. Well, I finally broke down and got some tire soap. Well, they call it, I don't know what they call it nowadays, tire mounting compound. You know how kids are nowadays. They got to call things by different names. But basically it's soap. We called it tire soap. It's very thick, but get it all over your hands. When you get done, find some water, wash it off just like soap. But what you do is you just put it down in here on the bead, and it'll help it seal up, and it should air the tire out, we hope anyways. It don't always work, but it works a lot of the time. Used to, back in the day, when I worked at the tire shop, farmers would bring in old junk like what I'm working with right now. It'd be stiff, or a lot of times those 16.5 tires, they were a pain to get the air up sometimes, and we'd have to use this soap on it. But anyways, let me get this around here. We'll shoot some air to it, and hopefully it'll air up. I already got the back side. All right, I think that's good enough. Let me clean my hands off. We'll shoot some air to it, see if it'll pop up or not. I hope it does. All right, here we go. I'm gonna throw some air to it. Fingers crossed that it airs up. Look at there, fellers. Come on, girl. Come on. Oh, we got a hold over here. Oh, here it goes. Here it goes. Oh, yeah. Did I mention when it pops the bead, it'll fly across the shop? Absolutely it will. Let me get my valve stem. What's left on the tire, you just gather it up, put it right back in the bucket, and use it again later. Just like that right there. Oh yeah. Let me look at the bottom side. Oh, look at all the goo we get to save. Oh yeah. Let me put some air in it. That's about 35-ish. Oh, and yeah, we got us a tire for the old Fairmont now. It's seated on both sides. The tire soap works every time, 50% of the time. Remember me telling you the tire soap can go flying? There's a tire changer. Here's a big old blob of it right here. There's another blob. Where did I say? Oh, right here on this machine. I'll get that up in a minute. Let me show you this machine. It is an engine analyzer. Y'all remember Mayola? He let me use his tire changer on the trailer tires. Well, he got that and gave it to me. It's old and, you know, out of date. Unless you work on old stuff, and then it's great. I got to learn how to use it. But you just, well, you can analyze pretty much anything. On old motors, it's got a timing gun. There's the little clip you put on the spark plug lead. It's got a tailpipe sniffer. This is going to be awesome, I think. Where's it at? Right here, I think, yeah. Tell you if it's running rich or lean. There's the timing gun. It's got a OBD1 hookup, I think. That's what that is, OBD1. For the computer cars. And right here, it's an oscilloscope. And it'll show you if you've got a miss. I don't know if it'll tell you which cylinder, but it will show you if you got a misfire on the spark stuff. There's a bunch of books down in here. I got to get them out, look through them, and figure out how you operate the thing. He said he turned it on and the screen come on, so that's awesome. We'll use that on something sometime, but anyways, I just wanted to show you how far that soap can fly. Let me see if I can grab it up. I'll get that blob over there. And now that we got that tire aired up, that's awesome. I got me a new duck head for it. Let's see if we can't change that out. All right, y'all remember how I've been having trouble tearing beads? Well, that tire right there is why it wouldn't air up, because I tore the bead. Two over there, they got pretty bad beads. It's due to the tires being old. They're not soft and pliable anymore. And two, I don't like the head on this. See this big open space? I watched it the other day, and the tire would get caught. And well, I think that's partly what's ripping it. So I got me a new duck head. They call it a duck head because it sort of looks like a duck. You can see this one here's got this stuff here. Well, there's nothing here. I'm hoping that's going to help. But this ain't meant for my machine. This is meant for, I believe, a Coates. Set screws, it goes just like this. Set screws on this one will be on the outside. Well, on this one right here, they're on the inside. I'm hoping I can take this hex bar, turn it 180, and that'll put my slots for the set screws out here. So let me get this off, and we'll try that and see if it'll work. All right, let's just see if that's the same size. No, sir. Oh, wait a minute, there's a set screw right there. Let me back that off. Oh yeah, that'll fit. Let's see, it's backwards. It needs to be like this. So, will this come out like this away? Well, yes, it sure will. So let's turn it 180. 180. Right there. Now let's see. I just hope it's at the right angle. Should be, but you never know around here. Let me tighten these set screws up and we'll give her the old try on a piece of junk tire. All right, let me set a tire up here and see if that's at the right angle. If it ain't, well, we can't use it. Let's see, this is one of them shimmy lay wheels. That's a little wider here. Come on now. I don't think it's at the right angle, but it might be. Let's try a tire, see what it does. All right, here is one of the trailer tires that I have not tried to put on a tire yet, so the bead ain't tore up. So this will be a good test to see if our new duck head is going to work or not. All right, here we go. Nope. Still gonna tear it, I believe. Well, it's still locked up on me. I give up. Let me try this bead here. Yep, just peeled the plastic off of that duck bill. I give up. Yes, sir, I give up. All right, I did a little adjusting on this head here before. Let me lock this in. Before, this was way out here. It's got a piece of plastic or Teflon underneath here too that's supposed to ride on top of the wheel, you know, keep from scratching it. Well, it was way out here. So I fooled with the set screws and got her adjusted in. Let's give that a try, see what it does. If not, then, well, I'll have a tire changer for sale. All right, let me hit it with some more Sopa-Lopa. Here we go. Will it or won't it? fix that switch sticking too. Yep. That was mucho batero. I don't expect this to air up, but let's just see what it does. Well, that valve stem is messed up. Let me put a new one in it. All right, let's see if this little fella will air up. I don't think it will, but we'll give it the old try anyway. No, sir. Let's pull it back off and see how it does coming off. Yep, ripped half the bead, pulling it off. I think it might have been where I had already ripped it before. Yeah, it destroyed that one pretty good. So that's good. But like I said, these are old tires, and that may be part of the issue. Well, I do believe this little duck head right here, it's going to do a lot better than the one that was on it. I hope it does anyways. Now, let me discuss something real quickly. Last week's video, I don't even remember what we was working on. Trying to get tires for that thing right there, I think. And, you know, I had this wide rally wheel. I was trying to get a tire to go on it. Kept getting stuck and ripping the bead and all that. And a lot of y'all kept telling me, well, you need to take it off the back. No, sir. This is not a reverse mount wheel. If you look here at the narrow section of the wheel, whichever way it's biased towards, that side you take it off of. Well, this is biased towards this side. That's the front. Here's the back. If you try to take it off the back, it's going to just make it 10 times worse. The lip needs to be closer to this side. There are reverse mount wheels. There ain't a whole lot of them. I don't know in my lifetime that I've seen just a handful, but anyways, this is not a reverse mount. Just because it's a wide wheel does not mean it's reverse mount. You take it off on whichever side this narrow side is most towards. On this one, it's that way. On most of them, it is. Let me see if I can find another one. This trailer wheel, let's look at it. It's biased toward that side. That's the front side. That's the way you'll take it off. Most of them are like that. Anyways, I just wanted to show y'all that. And then some of y'all kept telling me to clamp the wheel in here instead of here. And you can do that, but that is mostly meant for aluminum wheels. If you clamp aluminum wheel here and it slips a little bit, you're going to scratch the wheel, which will probably be on the inside, but still, you don't want to do that. You clamp aluminum wheel here. But like I said, you can do a steel wheel there, and it might would help from it, you know, trying to yank it out. But it was doing that because our duck head was, you know, being stupid. I think we're figuring this machine out. I got to work on this switch, the turntable. It wants to hang. That keeps on going. And I don't have reverse. You lift up on it to go the other way. I got to work on the switch down here. Anyways, we'll get it figured out eventually. Now what I'm doing is we're going to patch this trailer tire. Remember here a couple weeks ago, I got something stuck in it, plugged it, and the plug didn't stay. So we're going to patch it. And here's what we're going to use. It's just this little buffing wheel, I guess you'd call it. It's pretty rough. You just rough the area up and then put your glue down, put your patch on, and there you go. Got a little roller. You roll the patch, get it mashed down good, get all the air out. Let me buff it first. I wish I had one of them thingamabobs that we used to have at the tire shop I worked at. Looked like a Granddaddy Longlegs. Had big old arms that come out here and hooked and spread the tire open so you could get in there good. I ain't got one though, so we'll just have to do what we do. All right, let's grind on this tire if I can get it in here. Well, I spun my wheel off. I think you got to keep it in forward. I don't know how it got in reverse. All right, let's try that again. It's hard to get in here. Some of y'all might be wondering, well, why in the world do you have to basically grind the tire away? Well, if you look in here, see all them little ridges and bumps? The inside of a tire is not smooth. So you have to buff it down where it's smooth, where that patch will stick. Or it's liable to come off if you just glue it straight to that. Anyways, let me clean this out and then we'll glue that patch on. All right, I got it cleaned up. Basically, all you do is get your glue all over your patch area. Work it in a little bit. And then stick your patch on. Basically, that's all you got to do. I always go a little bigger than my patch. That way I know I got it covered good. You got to peel this off of your patch. Don't touch the sticky side. You get your little roller. Just go to rolling away. This glue, I don't know about it. I got it at Walmart. It ain't wanting to dry very quickly. This is all you want to do. Make sure you roll it. Get all the air out. Make sure it's smashed down good. I'm going to let that glue dry a little more. And I'm going to roll it some more. And then we'll air it up and see how it does. Well, I do believe we're ready to mount this tire. So let me soak my beads up real good. And hope and pray that we don't tear one of these beads up. Oh yeah, I got to work on that switch. Sure enough, do. Not bad at all. I dropped this a little while ago. It fell off the top there. Well, apparently it's broke. Let me get a different gauge. Always something. I've had that for 30 years probably. That was my gauge I took to the drag strip. Well, this one only goes to 50 pounds. And I think I put 65 in them. All right, that'll do. Let's check her for leakages. Don't see none. Check the backside. Oh yeah. No sir, no leaks. Now where was the hole? By George, I think we've got it. Well, I reckon it's all the tire repair, tire machine repair, tire mounting that I had to do tonight. The old soap, it did pretty good. That's our front tire for the Fairmont. Let me put that by the door because I'll forget it, I promise you I will. Maybe tomorrow the rain will subside long enough for us to at least get that thing running. We need the rain. It's extremely dry around here. But I would like to get that car out of the woods in the next couple of days. Maybe we'll be able to. We'll just have to wait and see. I reckon I'll see y'all tomorrow. We're back yet again to work on this colossal pile of garbage of a car. But here's the deal. We're going to back up a little bit. Yesterday I got in sort of a hurry because, you know, they were calling for rain. Well, it sprinkled a little bit and that's about it. Yes, sir. So, fully on the weatherman, I ain't stopping today until it starts pouring down rain. And they are calling for rain. Anyways, here's what we're going to do firstly. Remember how I told you this intake has been open for years and years? Well, I got a stick yesterday and drove it in there and drug a little bit of garbage out. So we're going to stick the whole camera in there. See what it looks like. And I brought my little finger grabber thing. We're going to go to pulling junk out. Brought my little battery operated vacuum too. Once we do that, then I think we're going to do a compression test. Just see where we're at there. It's got a gallop to it, and it's got some compression, but I don't know if it's enough. And I got a little experiment I want to try with that too, if it does prove to be pretty low compression. Then after that, we got to get us a carb. I've got a lot of them 1-barrel hollies, so I'm gonna make me a little adapter to put that on there. And then I don't know what we'll do after that. We'll try to get it started, I guess. So let me get the camera out. Let's look in the intake first. All right, what kind of garbagerie do we have in this intake here? There's quite a bit of stuff in it. It sure is. I was wanting to see the intake ports, but this camera here won't let me. Let's look at the other side. Yeah, it's got garbagerie in it too. It ain't super duper bad, but there is stuff in it. So let me see if I can't pull some of that out, and we'll vacuum a little bit. Well, I ain't really grabbing nothing. Let me get my vacuum out. We'll see if I can drag some more. Let's see if there's anything in that intake port. I ain't grabbing nothing. It might not be as bad as I thought. Well, I ain't dragging nothing, so I think it's probably clear enough. Let's get over and check the compression next. All right, I got it ready to check compressions. I put a different starter solenoid on it. I was going to steal the one off of Dumas. Well, I raised the hood and it was gone. Then I remembered, well, you robbed it to put on the blue Ford that we took to the crusher, and you didn't take it off the truck. So I robbed it off the silver Ford. So we'll have to buy one for Dumas whenever we get back on it. Anyways, let us see what kind of compression we got. Well, 25. So that's good. Let me check the next one. All right, here is cylinder numeral 20. The needle does not even move. So that's not good. No, sir. Let me check this third one here. Numeral 30. Needle does not move. It is not looking good for the home team. I see a pattern developing here. Numeral 40. Once again, the needle does not move. What in the world? Here's numeral 50. I'm taking bets that it's the same thing. Oh, look at there. It moved up to 25 psi. What in the world? Numeral 60. No needle movement at all. So yeah, we got us a wore out motor, I do believe, or the rings are stuck really, really bad on every one of them. There are 4 key elements to make an internal combustion engine run. One of those is air, one's fuel, one's spark, one's compression. We got 3 of them. One of them is on vacation. He's known as compression, and not sure he's coming back. I've never had this. All cylinders, basically with 0 compression. Normally, you might get 50 or 60 pounds. No, sir. We're getting the 2 end ones, bumping it up to 25. The needle goes about 25, and that's it. Could be valves hanging open, but it's hard for me to believe that all cylinders have a valve hanging open. One way you can test that is put Earls in the cylinder, do the compression test again. If it comes up, that's rings. If it don't, well, you either got a hole in the piston or you got a valve hanging open. I didn't bring any motor oil. I don't think I got any in the back of the truck. So I got to go back to the house and get some Earls, and we will test a couple of cylinders. If a compression comes up, well, then we know what we got to work on. If it don't, well, we may never get this thing running, because I ain't pulling the head off. No, sir, it ain't worth it to me. Anyways, let me go get some Earl, and let's continue testing. All right, I got some Earls. Let's put some in cylinder number 1. See if that don't bring some compressions up. If it does, then it's rings. If it don't, it's valves. That ain't good. All right, let's see if that helped. Oh, yeah. It went to about 190 psi. Huh. Very interesting. So it is rings causing the issue. Let me put some in the others and see what we get. Did it help numeral 20 any? No. That's probably a valve. I'm going to check the rest of them, see where we're at, and I will report back momentarily. Just got done checking compression on all 6 cylinders, and here's the verdict. Number one, you know, we did it on camera. It jumped up to like 180, 190. Number 2, it had nothing. Number 3 had nothing. Number 4 did like number 1, it jumped up to 190-ish. Number 5 and number 6 are dead. Well, then I come back and put my little adapter in each spark plug hole and just held my thumb over it and turned it over. Well, compression come back on number 2. And, well, I put the gauge on it, and it's going to like 250 psi. That's a race motor, don't even do that. So I don't understand what's going on there. Well, then I put it back on number 1. It's doing the same thing. It's jumping up to about 250. That's very odd. I don't understand that. We got 3 cylinders that would probably run. We got 3 cylinders that's either the rings are just gone or you got a valve hanging open. I ain't real sure what I'm going to do at this point. I might pull the valve cover off. Let's bang on the valves for cylinder 3, 5, and 6 and see if we think they're hanging open, you know, because there was some trash in the intake. It could have made its way down, and it's got the intake valve held open a little bit. You never know. Let me get my camera out firstly. I guess let's do that and see if I can't curl it up and look at the valves. Let's do that. Well, I've learned 2 things in just the last few minutes fooling with this motor. Number 1, all the cylinders, they're still full of Earls, so that's probably why it's building such good compression. Number 2, when said cylinders are still full of Earl, never stand in line with the spark plug holes whilst you're turning it over with the starter, unless you want an oil bath. Yep, you'll get one. I've been just turning it over with the motor because it's always had like a drag to it. It may be freeing up some. Well, whilst I was turning it over, I stuck my finger in each spark plug hole again. Number 3 is coming back to life. It's making about 60 psi right now. So that's 3.5 cylinders we got back. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let the Earls soak, and I'm hoping it's just rings and they'll pop back out. Whilst we wait on that, let's go make us a carb adapter for that 1-barrel Holly. We'll come back and see if the thing will start on 4, 3.5 cylinders. Maybe, you never know. Got me a template made out of cardboard in a cheer. This is going on the intake manifold. We'll have to make another one for the carb. But all I did was take my, what do you call these? Protractors. I got these on Amazon here a while back. I've been anxious to use them. You can turn this dial. These will open and close. And all I did was do the middle circle first. Then I did this arc here. I did this arc over here. I closed it up, went to the bolt hole, did an arc, same thing over here, and then I just connected all them arcs with a straight line and cut it out. There it is. Let's cut this out with a plasma cutter. Let me clean that up with a grinder a little bit. I got to mark my bolt holes now. They're 3 inches and 3/12, which is 5/16, center to center. So I got to get one approximately where I want it, and we'll go off of that and mark the other one. All right, drill them out. I don't know, one size over 5/16. Next step is to cut a piece of pipe on this old crooked looking thing. Look at that. What the devil happened right here? Anyway, we got to mount it to this carb here. I cut out 1 3/4 hole because that's what the intake manifold was. Not thinking that, well, I don't have any 1 3/4 pipe. I got 2 inch which will be too big for this. I got 1.5 inches, which is too small for this. But I think I can make that 1.5 inches fit. So let's cut this piece off. I'll get it tacked on to here, welded up. Then we'll make the adapter plate for this one. It's gonna take a while because there's a pretty good gap there. All right. Make the other half, I'll be back. Well, I got the adapter done. It's not pretty, but it is functional. That's all that matters right now. Have you seen the car? Yeah. Anyways, it sits on the car like that, and then the carb has got to go sideways, just like that right there. The linkage comes in from the back side, so it should work. I made some gaskets out of cork. One, because that's all I had here. Two, that's thick. It'll help seal it up because I'm guarantee you these are not flat after I welded them. We're going to goop it up really good with the RT&V. Hopefully that'll work. Here's my bolts that we're going to take with us. Now, I got to take this carb apart, go through it and clean it, and hopefully I can make one that'll work. I got several in that bucket. That's what I'm going to do right now. I will probably see y'all tomorrow because, well, it rained on us. Just as soon as we left from over there, it started raining. We got probably a 1/2 inch rain according to my little pan on the deck. And then after that, well, it got dark, so, yep. Anyways, let me go through this. See y'all tomorrow. Here we are again. I keep saying this. Let's see if we can get this old hunk of junk running. I've really drug this out last few days. I ain't felt all that great. I don't know if I got a stomach bug or what's going on. I ain't got a whole lot accomplished the last few days. The show must go on, though. So let's get over. I brought my carb. We'll put the carb on. Let's fill it up with gas and see what happens. I'm wondering if we still got compression or if the oil has leaked past and, you know, we're down to 1 or 2 maybe having compression. We'll find out. Let's get busy. We just had a shower. I think they're calling for more in a couple of hours. Maybe we'll have a little bit of time to see if this thing will start. Let's get this carburetor device adapter on here, approximately like that. Let me get my bolts. Get the bolts in, man. All right, hopefully that was still good enough to get this thing to run. Let me hook me a fuel tank up. And we might give her the old try, see if it'll fire up. Get on there. Right now. Well, our bowl is leaking. I was afraid of that. I didn't have a gasket, so I just put RT&V around it and let it dry. Well, apparently that's not enough because she's leaking like a sieve. So, let me see what I can do with that. The leak is almost fixed. Got a wee bit of a drip right here in this corner every once in a while. It'll have to do for now. I took all the plugs out. Stuck my finger in the spark plug hole, and it's like it was yesterday. The first 4 have compression. The back 2 don't. I'm going to say that's probably valves. Anyways, I'm going to set y'all up on the stand. Let me put the plugs back in. Let's see if the thing will even attempt to fire. Plug wires are back on, hopefully in the right order. Let me hook up my ignition right here. Then we're going to give her the old try. I'm going to be using some starting fluid. I don't know if it's any more volatile than carb cleaner, but we're going to use it, see what it does. Let me get this out of the way. Open the choke. All right, fire in the hole. Right here. Oh, she wants to run. Yes, sir, she sure does. Come on, girl. Well, Okie dokie. Let me remedy this situation and I'll be right back. Let's see if we can't take this hood off. Yes, sir. All right, now that I've got that situation took care of, let's continue on. This thing, I believe it's going to run. She'll act like it anyway. I need that choke to stay open for now. Let me find a way to tie that back. I'm propping my choke open, so that may be a hindrance. Let's just see what it does. Let me bring that timing back just a wee bit. It's probably still got lots and lots of Earl down in the cylinders. I imagine we'll have to pull the plugs here in a minute. Come on, girl. I believe she's gonna run. Let me fool with the timing a wee bit more. I don't know what it needs. We probably got some fouled plugs. Let me take them out and look at them. They're not bad. I mean, they're wet, but the gap ain't bridged with no trash or oil. Let me take out a few more, see what they look like. It's about like the first one. Let's pull them all out. I'll clean them off, put them back in, and we'll give her the old try once more. All right, I took them all out and cleaned them. They were a little bit oily, but they wasn't bad. Also, there's a piece of pipe right here coming out of the exhaust. I'm sure it's for the small garbage. You know, this is a 78 model. That right there. I crimped the end off because it was shooting a bunch of smoke out. Also found a vacuum leak right here, plugged it with a stick. I think we're ready to try again. Fire in the hole once more. It wants to so bad. Timing might be a little bit high right there. Give her some ether. Oh, we're so close to this thing running. Well, my battery's just about dead. Yep, time to change the battery. All right, I got the battery changed out. Firing a hole once more. I don't think it likes the ether. Let's see what it does with the choke on. Alrighty then. Yeah, it don't like the choke closed. Well, it ain't even trying now. Let me pull the plugs again. They may be a little dirty. Plugs were wet, but they didn't look real bad. I cleaned all of them anyways. I'm gonna give her a little shot of gasolines. See if she likes that better than the ether. It sure wants to start. Y'all hear that squeaking? I'm wondering if that's like a main bearing or something. Rod bearing. Yep, that battery's gone too. These are the two weakest batteries I believe I've ever seen in my life. Let me pull my truck up here, hook the jumper cables up, see what that does. We'll have to excuse the noise, that's the truck running. I don't want to run that battery down too. Fire in the hole! Well, here's the deal. Something is dragging this motor down. I hear a squeaking noise. I don't know if it's just valve train or, rod or main bearing. We've run 2 batteries down that were fully charged in 10 or 15 minutes of cranking. No, it shouldn't do that. Here's what I'm going to do. Well, you see a starter, got it pulled off. It's still pretty doggone hot, and it's been 15-20 minutes since I tried to start this thing. I'm gonna see about getting another starter. The cable from the solenoid to the starter, I don't know if it's big enough or not. It probably is for this motor, but if I can find a bigger one, I'll get that. And I'm gonna at least put one of these batteries on the charger. And well, if I get a starter and the weather holds off, we'll come back, put the starter on. Maybe, fingers crossed, that this thing will turn over a little bit easier without running the battery down so quick. And it wants to run. I believe it will run. Oh, let me tell you this too. Forgot about this. Pulled all the plugs out to see how dirty they were. Well, I left 5 and 6 in, because those cylinders were dead. Well, I turned it over to clear them out. Well, it had compression on 5 and 6. Yep, I pulled the plugs out, stuck my finger in the hole. Both of them have come back, so that is awesome. The old motor wants to run. We just got to get everything right. So let me see about getting a starter and all that, and hopefully we'll be back in a little while. Well, we got rain out Saturday. Got a pretty good shower too. But looking at it today, 2 days later, you can't tell it. It looks just as dry as it ever was. It's dry around here, fellas, I'm telling you. We need a good rain for about a week. Not this week, though. I want to get this hunk of junk out of here. We do have sunny skies for the next week. Like I said, I hope I ain't working on this for another week. I'm about tired of working on this thing, but y'all know me, I don't want to give up. I think the thing wants to run, so I'm going to give it all the tries that I can. I did find another starter in the barn. It's old, but I hooked it up and the original to a battery, and they both seem to turn about the same, so I don't think the starter's an issue. I started wants to buy one, but $150, I don't want to spend it on this piece of junk. Plus I couldn't get it till tomorrow. So I said, fully on it, we'll just put that one on and see how it does. I don't know if it's turning it over any faster. Y'all tell me. It might be a little bit. I got the plugs out, by the way. Anyways, I got the plugs out because I want to check compression. You know, it sat here for 2 days, and all that Earls that we put in the cylinders, they may have went by the pistons, and we ain't got compression now. So I'm gonna check out here in a minute. I'll tell you what, when the wind blows from this direction, whoo-wee, something has died up here in the last couple of days. Man alive, it stinks. We might have to walk up through there and see if we can figure out what it is. Golly, it stinks. Anyways, let's check the compression. Hopefully we got it. If we do, we're gonna, I don't know, try to start it again. I got me a new compression tester. You know, my old one, you had to screw a fitting in the hole and then put a hose on that. Well, this one here, it's got just a little rubber stopper on it. You just stick it right there over the hole and see what you got. So let us see what we got. That's a little over 100 right there. And there's 130. That's pretty doggone awesome. That one is showing about 115. Yeah, that's still pretty good. If it's got 100 or more, it ought to start. 150. Wow. 125. Number 6 is dead. All right, we got 5 out of 6. That ain't bad. The thing ought to start. I just tried to check the timing. I see no mark on the pulley at all, so I reckon we're gonna have to guess at that. Also, know, by the way, the solenoid is hanging on. Remember, on the silver Ford, it would stick. Well, it's doing it again, so that's great. Anyways, let's see if this old hunk of junk is gonna try to start. I don't have a pump shot on the carb. Well, I do, but it's leaking to the outside. It ain't shooting nothing down in it. That does absolutely nothing. So I have to keep giving it a drink of stuff. Well, here's the deal. I decided, well, let's just hook her up 24 volts. Oh yeah. Don't try this at home, but I will walk you through how you're supposed to do this. Here's your regular old battery you normally have. Keep it hooked up normal, ground to ground, negative to ground, positive going to one side of your solenoid. On the other side of the solenoid, it will normally go straight to the starter. Well, when you're hooking up an extra battery for 24 volts, you hook your second battery's negative to the other side of the solenoid, and then the positive side of your second battery goes to your starter. I've done spun it over, and let me tell you, she's a spinning, but our solenoid keeps sticking. So yeah, this could turn out to be interesting. Anyways, let's see if it'll start. I got me a hammer right here to peck on the solenoid when it gets stuck, because it will get stuck, guarantee you. Anyway, let me give her a shot of ether. Let's see what happens. There's the solenoid gets stuck every time now. That ain't good. That's really aggravating right there. Yes, sir. And this is not due to the 24 volts, because it's still hooked up 12 volts. It's just, that's a pile of junk. If you recall the silver truck, it did it, you know, as soon as we put it on the truck. It's just a Chinese piece of garbage like everything else. Anyway, let me give her a little time and see what that does. I tell you what, I'm gonna have to go to the store and get another solenoid, because this in here, we can't do nothing like this. No sir, sure can't. That's very extremely aggravating. I'll be back in a little while. Well, I didn't have to go to the store for a solenoid. We got one right yonder. I forgot he gave me this old Ford van sitting up here around his house. So we're gonna steal this solenoid right here. I done got everything off except for one more screw. Let me get that off, head down there to the Fairmont, put that on, and I'm gonna sling that ching chong junk through the woods. Well, I got our new non-China made solenoid hooked up. Here's the pile of junk there. It kept hanging. It's so cheap and garbagey, it don't even have made in China on it anywhere. Y'all watch this right here. Well, see you, little buddy. It won't be bothering me anymore. All right, let's see if we can get this thing started now. All right, now that I don't have to worry about the solenoid hanging up, I can concentrate on giving this thing some fuel. Let us give it one more try. Fire in the old hole for the 984,764th time. Let me put the old starter back on and see if it don't act any better, because that right there is really getting on my nerves. Patience are running thin. Original starter is back on. Let's see how it does. Come on now. Well, at least it's going to continue to turn over at least. Give her a little more time and see what that does. It was doing better the other day. Sure was. This here's smoking too, so let's see if we can't fix that. Ooh, that's very, very hot. Yes, sir, it sure is. Ooh, we're smoking over here. We're just smoking everywhere. Yeah, that cable's pretty warm. Ooh, it's very, very warm actually. Well, fellas, I believe she's toast. Yes, sir. It got to where it wouldn't even try to start. It just maybe turned just a wee bit, and that was it. I got all the plugs out, and y'all listen to the gallop it's got. It's sort of trying to free up. Yes, sir, there's something internally going on. I don't know if it's piston to cylinder wall drag, or maybe a rod main bearing. Don't know. But there's definitely something dragging this motor down. We've run batteries down way too soon. And like I said before I took the plugs out, it'd just go, that's as far as it would go. And every connection on the battery would start smoking. So that tells me it had a major draw on it. So yes, sir, I think this old motor, she's done for. Well, fellas, y'all know that I do not like to quit. I do not like to admit defeat. I really hate to end this video on a failure, but sometimes you ain't got no choice. Like I told y'all before, I don't pick and choose what I do a will it run on. No, sir, ain't no cream puffs around here. And sometimes that means there's failure. This is, what, my second failure, I think? Maybe third on the channel, I don't remember. But even I have a limit, and this old hunk of junk, it showed me what my limit was. Yes, sir, it sure did. I am going to pull it out of the woods, not this week, but I got two more down yonder I got to get out. When we come get them, I'll probably drag this thing out too. And we may pull the motor and pull it apart and see what's wrong with it, because I am kind of curious to know what's dragging that thing down. I'm gonna say it's a bearing, but it could be the piston, bunch of rust on the cylinder wall. I don't know. We might find out eventually though. Anyways, appreciate y'all watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you don't mind, hit that like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. And until next time, go do something. Blur, blur.